Alright, let's get the music going. Alright, so what is up everyone? Today what we got for you, we're going to be doing a bit of a tier list, or a wish list, of who I want to see return in Street Fighter 6. Game's coming out in about 2 days as of this recording. I'm super excited for the new Golden Age of fighting games. That I feel is about to happen. Capcom stays winning now, and I'm a pretty big Capcom fanboy at this point, so yeah, let's get it going. A little background, actually, real quick, and a little bit of a preface before we get into it. I started playing fighting games, like traditional fighting games, in 2016 with Street Fighter 5, and so I haven't had as much experience with the previous games as far as like actually sitting down and playing them. I played a little bit of SF4, didn't really mess around with Third Strike, and definitely didn't play SF2 or anything like that. So most of my experience is coming from SF5, but it's made me a big fighting game fan. So this is going to be kind of what I want to see return in SF6. And so, you know, clearly, as our tier lists and things like this are, this is all subjective. This is all just my opinion, and it's going to be kind of more aesthetics based first. I'm the kind of person that likes flashiness. There's going to be contradictions in what I say on certain characters, so you know, let's keep it chill. Feel free to talk about it in the comments or whatever, but you know, we'll keep it chill because at the end of the day, it's all for fun, right? So let's go ahead and get started. To explain the way I have this oriented right now, in the first tier here, I have the characters that I like need back. Like these are gonna be my favorite characters and ones that I want to see, for sure in SF6. My want tier is just below that. I want these guys back, but it wouldn't like kill me if they weren't back. You know what I mean? So I definitely do want them, but they're not like necessities for me. And then for the sure, I guess tier, this is like those like mid tier, like I feel like might be a waste of a spot. But if they were there, it's like, what can you do, kind of thing. And then for my meh tier, this kind of speaks for itself. These are characters I'm not the biggest fan of, and I personally feel would largely be a waste of a spot. And then we have the characters that are already in SF6 from this tier list here. So let's get started. First character, M. Bison. I hate fighting this character, but he is iconic. He's the dictator, right? One of the, you know, Shadowloo boss and all that. So, and I did consider picking him up in Street Fighter 5 at one point. Just never stuck because I'm not the biggest fan of charge characters overall. But I definitely did experiment with Bison. So overall, I like Bison, and he is iconic. So I'll put him in the sure, I guess, here for now. I might move him up, just because he's been in, you know, most of the games, and so I wouldn't be distraught if he had a break for SF6. If it meant I could have some of the characters I really want to see back. Next, we have Vega. Vega's a character who, you know, Vega, he's iconic, you know, one of the Shadowloo generals, but I'm not the biggest fan of Vega, me personally. Hate fighting him. Shout out to Humpty, though, if you know, you know. For the stream monsters that have seen me fight this character in my early days of learning the game. Shout out to my fellow 16ers. But Vega's gonna be another sure character. Like, he's iconic. If he came back, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, Balrog. This character is gonna go, I'm gonna say I want him back. Again, another iconic character, one of the Shadowloo generals, the Four Kings. He's actually the first character that I'm not gonna say I got good, because I definitely was carried by Balrog in Season 2. With the EX lows, his V-trigger, his stomp into V-trigger activation, when that was like busted to hell in Season 2 of Street Fighter 5. But this character for me, I personally have a bit of a connection to, just because he's kind of the first character that I actually spent a significant amount of time with. And he's also, you know, I got to gold in Street Fighter 5 with him for the first time, which is, you know, again, for the stream monsters, shout out to y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hotspot GG gets gold, if you know, you know. But I definitely want to see Balrog back. But he's not, he's just below that tier of my favorite characters that I definitely want to see back. Now we come up to the big boy, Sagat. So, if you guys know me, you know this is my favorite character in all of Street Fighter, and I'm gonna need Sagat back. And I think he could be really interesting in Street Fighter 6 with what they do. Because in Street Fighter 5 he was a bit weak. In SF4, I know at the beginning of the game he was a monster. I want to see this character be good again, man. I wanna not play a shitty character in SF6 if I can get away with it. And I definitely want Sagat back, and I want him to be stronger than he was in 5. I personally think that SF5's Sagat design was really cool aesthetically, especially with bringing in the Tiger and his story, him kind of becoming a good guy and all that. I definitely want to see what they could do, and I want to see, since they didn't bring the Tiger as part of his moveset in a V-trigger or anything like that, I want to see SF6 Sagat have his gimmick be something with the Tiger. I want to see Will Amayu do some cool shit, dude. I like tigers, man. What can I say? You're the Tiger. Sagat's also, I just love Muay Thai characters. So of course I want to see Sagat back. This character is my #1 pick. All right, next, and he was on my tweet for characters I want to see. So some of these characters, for those of you that follow me on Twitter, you might already know. But Fei Long is next. I definitely want Fei Long back, dude. I mean, I'm a big fan of I'm like a martial arts incel, or not an incel, you know what I mean, but a martial arts cell, if you will, right? Any martial arts inspired character, or a character that's centered around that being their identity, I'm gonna think is cool. And of course, it's Bruce Lee, it's Thoji. Who doesn't like Bruce Lee? So of course I want to see Fei Long back. I think he's iconic. Next is T-Hawk. Now, since Lily is already in the game, and she's getting a lot of T-Hawk's moves, I don't think T-Hawk is going to be coming back, and the chances are really low of it, but I'm a big T-Hawk fan. He's I don't play grapplers, I don't like grapplers, generally speaking, aside from T-Hawk or Alex, but T-Hawk is one of those grapplers that I would have been interested in picking up. Would he be in the game? Again, I don't think he will, but I want him back, me personally. And the only reason he's not going to be in the please come back and I need him back tier is just because I just really don't think he's going to come back. So next we have some of the alter egos of the characters. I'm generally a pretty big fan of these, what if Ken and Ryu were super evil, that sort of a thing. But Ken himself, I just don't like his hair and his color scheme, so Violent Ken I'm good on. However, Evil Ryu, SF4 Evil Ryu Daigo highlights are sick. He's got really cool supers in SF4. He's got sauce with the axe kick. I want to see Evil Ryu back for sure. So he's gonna go in the want tier for right now. I might bump him up at the end. We'll do a final sweep. All right. Next character. As I mentioned, I'm a huge fan of Muay Thai characters, and I know this one might be polarizing. All right, so don't roast me, okay? But I personally am the one Adon fanboy on the internet. Okay, I love Adon. I think he's cool. His moveset is awesome. I know everyone hates his voice, and maybe it's just because I didn't play SF4 competitively and have to hear him go Jaguar, Jaguar all the time, right? So it just doesn't bother me that much. But I want to see Adon back. He's a Muay Thai character. He's one of the other characters I messed with when I was playing SF4, when I dabbled in it. Sagat and Adon is who I was playing. So I want to see Adon back. Next character, Birdie. Alright. For those of you that know me, you know I despise this character. I hate his character design in the SF5. He was fine in Alpha or whatever game, I think it was Alpha, right? That he was originally an appearance in. I hate Birdie though. Hate fighting this character. I hate his design. I just got PTSD with this character, man. Keep this character gone. Don't want to see him. Do not want to see him back ever again. He can, I know there's some Birdie fans out there. He could never come back, and I'd be perfectly fine. Next, we got Charlie Nash. Nash is one of those characters that started off really strong in Street Fighter 5, and he has some sauce with the V-triggers, especially V-trigger 2. I have a friend who's shout out to Humpty again. He's a big fan of Charlie Nash, but he's not my favorite. And low key towards the end of Street Fighter 5, I forgot he was in the game. Nobody plays Nash, so he could come back. I know he's fairly relevant to the story in a way, so But I think his arc relatively, is relatively over with in Street Fighter 5. So for that reason, I'll just put him in the sure tier. I'd rather see other characters come back with that. Now, Eagle, I just don't know much about this character. I'm not like the biggest lore god as far as like knowing all the ins and outs of who's who, as far as like comics and things like that. I've dabbled a little bit, so I know a little bit of these characters, but Eagle I don't really know much about, so I'll put him in the meh tier. Same with Maki. I do know from watching a few videos and things, like lore videos and whatnot, that Maki's a pretty popular character, but generally speaking, one thing about me is characters like Maki are not really aesthetically like my thing. She seems to be like a Kunoichi kind of character. But I don't know. She could come back, she could not, but I'm going to put her in meh just because I don't know much about her. Alright, now Gen is next. Gen is a character that I'm a big fan of personally. Aside from Muay Thai characters, my probably next favorite archetype is old man like master characters, right? So Gen, it has that old man like master vibe, right? He's like a crazy like strong assassin or whatever. I think he's technically dead in the story, but I don't care. Bring him back, dude. Bring back Gen. I need Gen back. I think he's so cool with his like hands input move that he has and his supers. I don't know. I like Gen. I'm a big fan. Aesthetically, he's flashy. Character I definitely want to play if he comes back. Next we have Guy. So this is another character kind of like T-Hawk, where Kimberly's already in the game. She basically has his moveset, which, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of like the newcomers in SF6. I'm going to be playing Jamie for the full release until Sagat or someone like that comes along. So I like Kimberly. Kimberly's design is really cool. I think she's awesome. But her moveset is basically Guy's. So I don't think Guy's going to come back. But since Guy kind of originated that, and Guy has the sauce. Like he's got the drip, but he's not gonna come back. So he's gonna be like T-Hawk in that regard, where I want him back, but he's just not gonna come back. But I definitely want to see him back. I like Guy. I'm a Guy fanboy. So if he did come back, they would like have to come up with kind of a whole new moveset for him. I feel like, which could be cool, but at the same time, it might like bastardize his character identity in a way. If he came back, they'd have to do that. So I don't know, but I want to see him back in some way. Whether it's SF6 or SF7, SF8. Guess we'll have to see, right? Alright. Next character is Ingrid. So this is a character I don't know much about. I know there's a costume and she's related to Karin in whatever way. I heard she's like an alien or some shit. I don't know. She's related to Karen in some way, but in my opinion, I just like Karen Kanzuki a lot better. Ingrid's been in like some like PSP game or something. But this character is just kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought this character back, because I know people have been like kind of requesting them, but they're gonna just go and like, I wouldn't personally be excited, but I know other people would be, so I'll put her in the sure tier. Now dolls, these doll characters, man, y'all already know how I feel about this if you know me. I don't care about doll characters. I think they're so boring aesthetically and just like lazy, like character designs, me personally. Maybe it's a hot take, maybe it's not, I don't know. But don't bring them back. I feel like they would be a waste. And I don't think that's a hot take. Like, to not want Junie or Julie or any of these like Jal characters to be back, right? Next character is Karen Kanzuki. So, I hate fighting against this character in Street Fighter 5, and Karen has dominated a lot of better play for Street Fighter 5's lifespan. But this character, even though I hate fighting Karen, I never picked up Karen. I considered it, but I'm not a crouch medium kick god. Like, I'm not a hit confirm god. I'm trying to get there, But I like Karen though, overall. Aesthetically, Karen's cool. Karen's like, that like rich girl vibe, but like she's got the classic like I just like Karen. She's got style. You know what I mean? And I know her Rekkas were locked behind her V trigger, which I kind of wish that was more part of her base moveset. But if Karen were to return, I'd be cool with that. So I definitely want to see Karen back at some point. And I would be cool with her coming back in SF6. But she's not like a necessity for me. Next character, we have our Mika. Mika's a character that I really, really don't like. Like, one thing about me that, again, might get roasted for this, but I generally just don't like bombastic, like, overly, like, sexualized, like, female characters in a fighting game. Again, like I said, there's gonna be contradictions because there are other characters that are fan favorites for the degenerates out there, right? That I do actually like a little bit, but Mika's not one of those characters. I hate fighting this character in Street Fighter V. I just don't like her design. Not my thing. So this character, I'd be fine to not see this character come back. Next character is Rolento. So he's got some interesting gameplay stuff, like with the pogo bouncing in SF4, but as a character, like, I just don't think he's that cool. I think he's a pretty boring design. He's just like that green beret sort of situation. His aesthetic's not for me. So, me personally, don't want to see him back. Next character is Sakura. She's iconic, obviously, for good reasons or not good reasons. I don't know. Y'all tell me. But I'm not a personal, like, huge fan of Sakura. I know a lot of people are. But to me, she's just, not the kind of character that I typically gravitate towards. So, Sakura, again, is one of those characters, like, they probably will bring back just because she's a fan favorite, but for me, just kind of like a character. Next character is going to be Cody. Cody, so I know Cody is a huge fan favorite, but I personally, again, maybe another hot take, I'm not the biggest fan of Cody. His SF4 design I didn't like. In SF5 I like how he's the mayor of Metro City and all that, and I like the dapper suit, and he's got some cool gameplay stuff with the pipe and the knife feature, and I mess around a little bit with him, but overall not my kind of character, but he's probably going to come back at some point, just because he's so, like, iconic. But I personally, as far as like Final Fight characters, I'm a Guy fanboy, so I'd rather see Guy than Cody, me personally. Alright, next character, Dan, the iconic Joe character, a menace in Street Fighter V. One of my best friends plays this character. Like, they made him no joke. Like, he's a Joe character, but like, in my personal experience fighting him, again, I'm not like a top tier, like, super good player. Probably peaked out about, I think I was like super ultra gold or whatever, So I'm like a pretty intermediate mid-level player. But in my sets against Dan, when my friend picked this character up, dude, this character's a menace in Street Fighter V, dude. He's not like top tier, but he's good. Like, he's playable, he's competitive, and I struggle so much against this character. So, but he's pretty iconic. I'm a pretty big fan of Dan. So if a Joe character comes back, I'd want it to be Dan. So I'd like to see him back. Actually, do I want to see him back in SF6 though? Me personally, he would just be sure. Like I'd be okay with it, but I don't want him back. Me personally. Next character is a Rose, another iconic character, JoJo-inspired character, right? Lisa. A lot of people love Rose. There's Luffy and his iconic play with Rose in Street Fighter 4. In Street Fighter 5, I think she was just kind of okay. But I liked what they did with her like V-skill with the cards and everything. So I think she's an interesting character, but not really my personal style. So this is gonna be kind of like Dan in the regard that, like, she might come back, she might not. I'd be okay with it, but I'm pretty. I could go either way on it. Now, Sodom, however you say it, right? I know this character's kind of a joke character, but aesthetically, I think he's just cool. Like, I just love that, like, samurai armor look and, like, his size that he fights with. I just think this character's cool, man. So I want to see Sodom back, personally. And he hasn't come back since, like, what? Alpha, right? I want to see this character back, man. I think he's super cool aesthetically. I like how he's basically just, like, the weeb Wojak meme of, like, character and then person, like, just chilling, and then person in Japan, like, oh, like, that's Sodom. And I want to see him back. I think he's cool. So I'd like to see him. Next character is Ibuki. So, Kunoichi character typically wouldn't be my thing, but Ibuki in 4 as well, and, like, Third Strike 2. But Ibuki's moveset in 5 specifically, this character's a menace to fight, but I did want to play this character at one point just because Ibuki is cool. With the Raidas, like, I just like her the way they did her special moves in 5. I think they were aesthetically pleasing, and I think the character, aside from being a menace, and one of my personal like kryptonites with her jumping EX kunai in the air, just destroying my anti-airs when I play Sagat. Like, I want to see Ibuki back, me personally. So, and I think she probably will come back. So I'd like to see Ibuki back. Now Alex. This is the other grappler character aside from T-Hawk that I genuinely considered picking up. I played him for just a little while. I just love his command grabs. I like his aesthetic. Like, I just think Alex is a cool character, and he is a fan favorite. And so he's not need for me, but I definitely want to see Alex back for sure. Definitely a big fan of Alex. Hyper Bomb, right? Like, I love that. Next character, man, Dudley. Everyone likes Dudley, man. And Balrog has been the last few. I definitely want to see a boxer character back, and if it is a boxer character, I'd rather it be Dudley than Balrog. Because Smug, with the greatest of each. Shout out to Smug, man. This character is so cool. I don't know who hates Dudley. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know a single person that doesn't like Dudley. So I definitely need him to come back over Balrog. I want Balrog back, but if I had the choice, bring back Dudley, man. Bring back Dudley. But yeah, next character. And we're chipping away here. Next character I want to see back is Elena. Or I actually don't want to see the character back. Sorry, I misspoke. I think Capoeira as a fighting style is super awesome, but I just don't like Elena's character that much. And obviously, like, I know this is one of those hated characters at the end of Ultra's lifespan with healing spam and all that. Not fun to watch in Ultra. In Third Strike, she's cool. She's not like top tier, so I guess like it's kind of cooler to see Elena in Third Strike do stuff. But I'm not the biggest fan of Elena. I know some people are, but I personally don't want to see Elena come back anytime soon. Next character is going to be Gil. So I think it's really, really cool that they brought this character to be playable in Street Fighter V. I think he has some awesome sauce with the fire and ice, like combo stuff he could do. I never really played this character. I know he's not considered that good, but every time I fought this character, he felt pretty good to me. So, Street Fighter V is pretty balanced in that way. But Gil, do I really want to see him back though right away after 5? I could take it or leave it, So I'll put him in short. Like, I wouldn't be mad if he came back, but I would rather one of these slots be used. Next character is gonna be Hugo. I know this is a character a lot of people like. He's a big body. I'm generally, aside from very specific characters like T-Hawk, and Alex, I don't really like big body characters. I think Hugo, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Like, I'm really not a fan. I know he has the kind of iconic moments from Alex Valle playing him, right? But considering Sagat is in here, right? And I call myself, the gold Bonchan. Bonchan's my favorite player. He plays Sagat. Like, I don't know, man. I gotta be a Hugo hater, man. So I don't want to see Hugo back personally. I don't know. He's kind of ugly, man. Like, I don't know. And his moveset's not that cool to me. So it is what it is. Fight me. Next character, though. Makoto. I know this character's kind of polarizing. Some people hate her. Some people really want to see her back. I would say generally this is one of the most fan-requested characters. And I would fall in that boat where I definitely want to see Makoto back. So I would... She's not like a need character for me, but I definitely want to see Makoto come back. I think she's really cool. Next character, we're running into some Third Strike characters here, which is exciting. Next character is Necro. I think this character is super unique. He's like, that Blanca Dawson mix. But me personally, I wouldn't really play this character, so if he came back, I'd be cool with it, but this would be more geared towards people that are like a huge fanboy of Necro, and I'm just not the biggest fanboy there. Next character is Remy. He's like the Guile character in Street Fighter 3. One of my friends is a big fan of Remy. I don't personally like his like emo look, but I like him better than Guile. Like Guile's not the coolest to me. So he's just gonna be in the same tier as Necro. I like him a lot less than Necro, but for the Remy fans out there, I wouldn't be mad at it if he returned in some way. Not for me though. Next character is Sean. Another fan favorite. I know people love this character. He's like, I guess he qualifies as a joke character. I don't really know, because he's like just the worst like Shoto or whatever. But and like the basketball and everything, all that stuff's pretty iconic. But me personally, I'm not the biggest Sean fan. I actually think what they did with Laura in 5 is kind of cooler. So I actually like Laura better. So, and like that's his cousin or sister or whatever. So Sean, for me personally, I'm cool on Sean not returning. Rather see Dan in that case, right? Next character is Q. This character's mystique and intrigue is super cool. It's one of the like reasons I even got into kind of like the world of Street Fighter in the first place was like watching, because I started off as like a Smash player, right? So like I wanted to like immerse myself in the like character designs of Street Fighter and like get excited about that stuff. And Q is one of those characters that's always like won the fancy of the community, and it definitely won me over with people wanting to figure him out and stuff. So I would love to see Q. And his relation to G and all that stuff. I definitely want to see Q back and learn more about him as a character and see what he could do. Because in Third Strike, he was not a good character from what I understand. Pretty limited in what he could do. So I'd like to see him back and what they could do to make him, more playable. Next character is Oro. I'm a big fanboy of Oro, personally. This is actually I pretty much stopped playing Street Fighter 5 around the time Oro came out. After I just messed around with him because I'm like I want Street Fighter 6, But I think it's awesome that they brought Oro back, and what they did with him in 5 is so cool. Shout out to Brian F. with like he's got some of the coolest combos in Street Fighter 5. Man. Some of the highest execution. Big fan of Oro. He's pretty important to the story. He's like the strongest character in the universe or whatever, right? So I'd love to see Oro back personally. Next character is 12. This character is so just unique and out there that like, and I don't really know much of his moveset in Third Strike because he's like pretty unplayable from what I understand. But I personally would like to see 12 back. So I just think he's so like zany and weird and interesting. Like I'd be cool to see him back. Next character is Urian. I hate this character, man. Like undeniably, he's like pretty cool, pretty saucy. I like his dapper suit style in Street Fighter 5 with his design, and obviously you can like make him wear his banana hammock or whatever. I just hate fighting this character, man, and like I have fatigue of seeing this character from Street Fighter 5. So like, and I know I don't know if he's a fan favorite. I think he kind of is, and he's just, the mirror V-trigger, like you see some undeniable sauce, right? But not my personal favorite character. So he could come back. I'll take it or leave it. Next we have the twins. When I tell you I'm a huge fan of the twins, I'm a huge fan of the twins, dude. Like I think they're so cool. One of the like reasons I wanted to get into traditional fighting games was like I remember I had like this core memory of being a kid, right? And like playing SF4 casually at a friend's house for the first time, because I didn't have a console, and I would like look at the roster and I'd see some of those characters, and like they just looked so cool to me. And Yang was one of those characters, man. I really want Yang to come back. So I don't think he will, because Jamie is like trained with Yun and Yang or whatever, but I think there's a chance. And I think Yang has some of the sauciest moves, like some of the coolest supers, dude. Like, this character just gets me hyped. So I definitely want to see Yang back. Yun I don't like as much as Yang, but I still want to see him back too, just because his stuff's pretty cool too. I think he's less flashy, but I still like him as a character a lot. Next up is Abel. I was a pretty big fan of this character just because he had some cool like SF4 highlights, and I do like his tornado throw. It's a really cool command grab, but I've soured a little bit on this character, like design-wise. I think he's pretty boring. I know he's supposed to be like the pro tag of 4. I'm not the biggest fan of Abel, man, so he could come back. I know there's some Abel fanboys, but not for me personally. Next is DeCapri. So I'm a big fan of Luke's already here. DeCapri, she's like a doll character, I think, right? She's just like her alt version of Cammy, like whatever. I think she has some really cool special moves. Like she's pretty flashy, but I just don't like that she's just Cammy, So I'm cool with DeCapri not coming back, me personally. So next, another old master character, man, the OG himself, the teacher, right? He's dead. I know he's dead, but man, Gouken, dude, bring Gouken back. I would literally like. I'm a pretty big Ken fanboy. I'm not the biggest Ryu fanboy, but if Ryu and Ken just weren't in the game and they just had Gouken, I would 100% just play Gouken. I think he's so cool, like almost as cool as the guy, like for sure. So I want to see Gouken back. I think he's so saucy with his like air fireballs, and his Tatsu going like vertically. instead of horizontally, like, bring Goken back. Number one Goken fanboy. Alright, I know he's dead. Bring him back, dude. Bring him back. Alright, Hakan. You know, there's the classic counter pick with infiltration against his against Balrog, right? PR Rog at Evo. I think it was PR Rog. And so Hakan had some really high moments and whatnot. I'm not the biggest fan. I think he's pretty zany and whatnot, but he's also kind of disgusting. Like, you know what I mean? His wife's bad as fuck though, so I'm not gonna lie. But I was gonna put him in meh, but he could come back. He could come back. I wouldn't be mad to see what they do with him. Next character is Oni. Ugh. So, Akuma's obviously iconic. Alright, I get it. But I personally am not like the most massive Akuma fanboy. I think Oni, dude, as like I know he's not like canon or whatever, but like as like if he went fully like even more evil, dude, I think Oni has some of the coolest shit in Street Fighter 4. Like he's up there with like Yang as far as like just flash. I think he's so cool. His supers are awesome. Like they get me hyped. They just get me hyped, man. So I personally, I'd take Oni over Akuma. Like I think Oni is awesome. So I want to see him back. Rufus. I was watching a video yesterday about how this character was originally meant to be like, he was a scrap design. They had done like half of his lines. He was supposed to be King Cobra to be like the complement to Sea Viper, and then they turned him into Rufus. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Number one King Cobra fan, bring back King Cobra. Rufus, get him out of here. Get him the fuck out of here. I hate Rufus. Next character. All right, we're running into the last ones here. So Seth. I think Seth is really interesting in what they did with 7 and 5, as well as like making Seth like take a different body, right? I think that's really cool. But I'm kind of a fan of Seth, like as far as like the move stealing. Like it's a cool concept. Like I like it conceptually, but as far as like if I want an actual roster spot for this character, I could take it or leave it, because like I'd rather see, instead of a character that can just steal moves from characters I'd rather have, like I'd rather have just the characters he'd steal moves from, you know, or that they would steal moves from, right? So Seth is, I could take it or leave it. Sea Viper. This character, just like King Cobra, man, this is a Marvel character. I want to see Sea Viper back. Everyone likes Sea Viper. Some of the coolest shit, like flame kicks and like, so cool. Sea Viper is so cool. Bring back Sea Viper. This is a character I would play. Probably not as a main, but I think Sea Viper is awesome. So, and I think they could do some really interesting stuff with like the drive system in Sea Viper in SF6. So I want to see Viper back for sure. Definitely need that. Next character is El Fuerte. I know people kind of hate this character. I am personally kind of a fan, like just like the trolley vibe. I know he's like a stereotypical kind of like luchador, but like I don't know. To me, the character is just kind of good vibes. Like I just like El Fuerte, man, and like that one combo he has with like the canceled, like run canceled, like forward medium punch. Like that shit is kind of cool to me. Like I'm not gonna lie, I think it's kind of saucy. And also just like seeing Funko kind of play him. I like this character, man. So I would be cool with seeing him back. Want is maybe strong, but I'd be, fuck it. I'll put him in want. I want Fuerte back, man. Just for the chaotic nature. Bring him back. I'll say I want. Next character is Jury. This character's already in. I like Jury though, personally. Except for the feet shit. Like, y'all degens, man. You got it. Relax. Relax, Capcom. Alright. Next character is Poison. Another degen character. I hate fighting this character. This matchup is so rough. Fighting as Sagat, and this character is so good in Street Fighter 5 with Idom. Like, I'm tired of seeing this character. I was never the biggest fan of Poison. I know Poison's pretty iconic, but I'm not a fan of Poison, me personally. So I'm good on that. Next character is Fong. I know people don't really like this character, but this was one of the characters that was actually like really intriguing to me, just aesthetically. I think he's, you know, his poison thing and like the long flowy, like I just like he's just cool to me. And for those of you that know the movie Kung Fu Hustle, he looks like the musical Assassins from Kung Fu Hustle. So I'm personally a fan. I wonder if they took like inspiration from that. I don't know, but I'm personally a Fong fan. I don't really like how he plays though. but I would be cool with seeing Fawn at some point. Maybe, since this is for Street Fighter 6 specifically, Want would be strong, but I'd be cool to see him back at some point. Next character is Kage. I like Kage. He's got really cool sauce, but the horns, like, aesthetically, I think Evil Ryu is cool. So, like, if they literally took everything they did with Kage in 5 and just gave it to Evil Ryu, I would much prefer that. So, I just think Evil Ryu is cool. Even though, like, Kage is canonically, like the Evil Ryu version. But, whatever. Anyway, I like Evil Ryu better. So that's Kage. Next character is Colleen. I was pretty, like, lukewarm on this character at first. And, like, aesthetically, she's not my favorite, but from a gameplay perspective, like, with the ice skating and, like, movement options, like, she's pretty cool. You know, not a character that I would play personally, but I can appreciate why people like this character. So I would be cool with them coming back or not. I personally don't, like, want a spot on top for SF6's roster, me personally. Next character is Laura. This character is a menace. Those of you that know me know I fucking hate this character. I struggle so bad against this character when I fight them. But Laura, like, objectively, like, design-wise is pretty cool. Like, flashy, you know. Some of the highest damage combos just in the game of Street Fighter 5, and that's, like, damage is already kind of crazy, right? So I like Laura, but I could take it or leave it as far as if they were to come back, just because SF5 is so fresh, and I kind of want to. I'd rather a slot be used on one of my boys up here, you know. Next character is Nikali. So I know people hate this character, like they think he's boring or whatever. Me personally, I'm maybe he's like Adon for me a little bit, where I'm like maybe the one Nikali fan on the planet. Like, I think he's cool. Like, his V trigger, like, with his hair, like, just going up, like, I feel like I'm a fucking Super Saiyan. I love install supers, and I played Nikali for a bit. He's, like, the only character I've ever not gone 0-2 with in a real life, like, local. I went, like, 3-2 with Nikali, and I wasn't even, like, great with him, but I don't know, just for that reason, and, like, the fact that I played him, like, I just think he's pretty cool. So I actually want Nikali back. I know it's a hot take, but I'd love to see Nikali back. I think he's cool. And I want to see what they do with him. Like, I want to see them make him, like, cooler. Even cooler than he was, right? So, next character, oof. Abigail. For those of you that know me, you know how much I despise this character. I almost hate this character as much as I hate this character more than Birdie, right? But Abigail is literally my #1 hated character in all of Street Fighter 5. Design, I hate him. So ugly, so goofy. I hate him. When he was dominating the meta in Season 3 and, like, top tier, like, it was part of the reason I fell off the Street. Like, I got Street Fighter 5 fatigue and stopped, like, taking the game as serious. It was around the time Abigail was good. I hate this character, both at locals in real life, because I got lore for that. Those of you that know why. Alright, vroom vroom. That's all I gotta say. I hate this character. Never want to see him back. Delete this character from the game. Remove him from the canon. Nuke him. I don't know. Like, just get him out of here, man. Get him out of here. Fuck Abigail. Next character is 11. I don't care about 11. I think he's, like, you know, like, he's literally just the random select character. Like, if they made him, like, I'll put him in Sure, just because, like, if they made him an actual character similar to, like, 12, that would be cool. But he's kind of just a nothing character. So next character is Falk. Dripless character, super boring design. Like, yeah, she has a staff, and that's cool. I kind of like weapon characters, but Falk is not it. When this character came out to absolutely no fanfare, this was, like, part of the, like, not, like when SF5 was really not, like, viewed positively by the community, Falk is a good reason when this character came out, because it's like, you're waiting for DLC characters to come out, and then you see Falk, like, who the fuck is, like, who the fuck is this character? She's boring, she has no sauce, and she's not fun to fight against. I hate this character. Don't bring her back. Don't bring her back. Now, G, though. G is where they started winning the community back. Like, the season where they came out with, where they announced G and Sagat and everything, like, that's where that was peak. Okay, that was peak. And G is unironically one of the coolest new coming characters to any Street Fighter game, in my opinion. I hate fighting this character. He destroys me, okay? But I love this character. I think he's awesome. So, me personally, I'd love to see G come back. Like, almost, like, more than Q. He, like, they're related in some way or whatever, but, like, more than Q. Like, I'd like to see G back. I think he's awesome. Next character is Lucia. This character came out to, like, relatively little fanfare, but I actually was a big fan of, like, Lucia's moveset. And, like, her aesthetic's, like, not the coolest, I guess, but, like, her moveset is awesome. And she was, like, pretty fun. And I, like, was extremely wrong, because, like, this character's bad. But when this character came out, I was like, oh, this character's gonna be good. Like, this character's gonna be top tier. I was completely wrong. But I personally like Lucia. I'd want Lucia back in Street Fighter 6. So I'd be cool with that. Now, Menat. I hate fighting this character, but I cannot, like, in good faith say this is not a well-designed character. A fan favorite, newcomer in Street Fighter 5. Just a well-designed character, man. Like for the people that are into this sort of thing, I'm just personally not into Menat as a character. So they could come back, but me personally, not my kind of style. All right, next character is Zeku. Okay, Zeku is next to G, my favorite newcomer in a Street Fighter game. Zeku is, and like he's got the Bushinryu, but like they made him like Guy, but almost cooler in a way. Like there's two characters in one, like two different movesets. Like he's so cool. He's so cool. And I know he's good, and I know some people don't like him, but I think even the people that don't like him, they only don't like fighting him, but they like Zeku himself, design-wise. And I'm an old Zeku fanboy, of course. And Young is so cool too. Like I don't know, bring Zeku back, dude. Like I really want to see Zeku back in Street Fighter 6. That would be awesome. Like if they don't bring back Guy, man, bring back Zeku. Like, because then you get two characters in one, man. Like he's so cool. Next character is Akira. This is probably my favorite female character, aside from C Viper, that's been in a Street Fighter game. I know this is a Rival Schools character or whatever, but this character is saucy, dude. Like, I didn't have a chance to really, like, I don't even own Akira in SF5 because I basically stopped playing SF5 because of the Ned play, yada yada. But Akira's so cool, man. Like, Akira and Oro were one of the reasons I started playing a little bit again. Actually, were they part of the same season? I don't know. I may be talking out of my ass. I have no idea. But Akira is super dope. I would love to see Akira back, but not a necessity for me. Actually, nah, come back. I'm an Akira fan. And same thing with Evil Ryu, bro. Put Evil Ryu back. I love Evil Ryu. Alright, last characters here. These are pretty much non-characters for me. Shinakuma, I don't really care about. Like, whatever, you know? Like, he could, but I want Oni back, you know? Like, I want Oni. So, he's cool. Retsu, Geki, Joe, Mike Lee. These are characters that are, like, characters I don't know much about. I'm gonna put most of these in Sure, I guess. Just, like, character, like, aesthetic-wise. Retsu and Geki look alright. Lee looks cool, I guess. He's like, Tao Pai Pai from Dragon Ball, a little bit. He looks like that. But I don't know enough about these characters. I think they're from Street Fighter 1 or like something like that. Joe and Mike, though, I don't know anything about these characters. They look boring, so I'm gonna put them there. But anyway, that is the list. So I'm gonna zoom this out a little bit so we can see the final like bit. Already in SF6 doesn't really matter. So here's the characters, man, that I want to see back. This was a pretty long video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Feel free to talk about it in the comments. Don't roast me for my hot takes, or you can. I don't care. Just keep it simple. But yeah, shout out to Street Fighter 6 coming out in 2 days, man. I'm so excited, and I would love to see some of these characters come back, man. So here's my wish list, my ultimate wish list for all of the characters that have existed or could exist in Street Fighter 6. So that's all I got for y'all today, man. Catch you guys later. Peace.